Hi, my name is Selena, and I'm making my first booktube video. Yay! Um, I thought I'd start off with telling you what book I'm reading this weekend, and also the books that I bought most recently when I went shopping, because that's what book lovers do. They go and buy books, stating the obvious. So, yay! I've been watching booktubers for some time now, have been engaging in conversations, but I've been taking kind of a back seat to this uh, community. And I thought I'd start to conversate more with the booktube community, be more of an active participant instead of just leaving comments. I thought I'd actually make videos and get involved, and yeah, the people that I've been watching most readily would be Jessie the Reader, Readables, Bookables, Lizzie Books, Chapter Chicks, Ariel Bissett. Yeah. So I'm excited and happy. I'll be glad to hear from you. Please also let me know how you think I can improve these videos. Yeah, leave comments down below on anything that you think could be done better or differently, and I will gladly try my best. Yeah, so just don't be mean. But yeah, leave your comments and I'll be happy to read them and get back to you about anything. So anyway, let's get started with the book I'm reading this weekend. And the book I'm reading this weekend is Insurgent by Veronica Roth. And do you guys know what this book is? I've been hearing about it forever and just never picked it up until very recently. I read Divergent last week, and now I'm reading Insurgent. What made me go get the book and start the series was when I started back at work. I work in a middle school, and a student was telling me that he loved the series and he liked reading Divergent. He was reading Divergent. He had read Insurgent first and then went back to Divergent. He was unsure of the order of the books. But yeah, so after he said it, I was like, I've been hearing a lot about this series. I had heard that the movie was coming out, so I was like, let me go pick it up. So I went to the library at the school, picked up the book. There's only one copy in our library, but anyway, I went to the library, picked up the book, and loved it. I love Beatrice, Tris, and Four. They're just great characters. The story is such a wonderfully told story. So, yay, I am officially on the Divergent bandwagon. But yeah, I actually enjoy reading these books this way. Kind of like as one cohesive story. Read one, read the next, and then read the third right after the bam, bam, bam. Same way I read Harry Potter. I waited and I waited and I waited. It wasn't until I got to college and the seventh book had already come out, and so I went and just read them all in one summer and was done. And it was, I think that's the best way, at least for me, to read series, is just to kind of read them as one story. No angst. I'm not anticipating the next book and what's going to happen to the characters. I don't have time for that. So I I just read the books as one big series, one big story. That's how I like to do it. And when the third one comes out, October 22nd, I believe, I'm going to buy all three books and get a box set, because I like to have pretty books on my shelf. So I think getting all three hardcovers in a box set would be a nice idea, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to buy them until then. But yeah, so this weekend I'm reading Insurgent by Veronica Roth. But I bought books, and I went to two used bookstores. The first one I went to is two towns over, and I bought two books that I've been meaning to purchase and meaning to read, just hadn't got around to it yet. But here we go. The first one I got was 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. And I remember hearing Jessie the Reader talk about this book, and I thought it was such an interesting, different type of story, especially when it comes to YA, because it's not a paranormal romance or supernatural thriller. It's not sci-fi, dystopia, or I fell in love with the boy next door. It's something different, at least from what I gather, from what I heard. So I'm excited to see what I make of this after I read it. The second book that I picked up is Winter's Tale by Mark Halpern, and I picked up this book after researching books that were popular in the year that I was born. And this book was a bestseller in the year that I was born, which is for me to know, you to find out. And yeah, I thought, why not read it? It was popular then. Let's see if it still holds its weight. Its weight. This thing is a behemoth. It's a big book. But yeah, and then after looking in this more deeply, I found out that Martin Scorsese has recently taken this book and is trying to adapt it to a movie. So you can't get much better than Martin Scorsese. So I'm excited about that, to see what comes of it. From what I'm told, it is a kind of, I've heard of steampunk, and oh, I was about to give away the year. I'm not telling you. You'll have to find out. But yeah, it's steampunk, and I thought that was an interesting way of describing it. But it has like magical realism things in it. The main character is an outlaw, and it takes place in turn-of-the-century New York City. An outlaw of the mobsters in New York City. He's also kind of an outlaw to the upper echelons of society, but he meets a society female who lives kind of like in the nice posh apartments outlining Central Park, and she is either sick or ill, but the main character and her form a relationship, and it's that relationship that kind of pushes the plot forward. So, interested in reading this. Most likely will be reading this during the winter break when I am off from work, because it's going to take me some time to read this. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's Winter's Tale. That just happens to be a happy coincidence. I just need the time to get through it. So, oh, look at that. Gray. It must have been like in a gray mood. I love the covers. This one's kind of like shiny mixed with matte. I like that. And then this one is just, again, gray, but it has, the wonderful lights coming in to Grand Central Station, and it's kind of like an old-timey kind of feel to the picture. I think it's pretty. I like it. Then I went to another used bookstore. This one's in my town, and this used bookstore is connected to the library. So the money that you spend there goes to help fund things and programs at my local library, which is awesome. Anyway, so I bought 2 books there. First one I bought was J.K. Rowling's Casual Vacancy. I don't know why. I do know why. It's because it's hardcover and it was $2. Can't beat that. But I really had no desire to read this book. I may develop a desire to read this book later on, may not, but I have it just in case. So yeah, I got that. I have nothing else to say about that book, but the book that I am excited about that I got at the used bookstore is Hourglass, and I love the cover of this book. When I show this book, it always messes up the color, so I'm very scared to show you. But yeah, it's kind of like a purpley, glossy, but still matte kind of finish, and it's nice and soft kind of cover. I love the cover, and the image is just beautifully done. She's kind of like hovering over the floor. It's a pretty cover, and I remember hearing about this from a couple of booktubers. I think Ariel Bissett mentioned this book, and I thought it might be a good read. So I'm looking forward to reading this as well before the year is out. So Hourglass by Myra McEntry. We're gonna go with that. Then I went into the library and I picked up this book. It is called Straw House, Wood House, Brick House, Blow. 3 different short stories by one author, Daniel Nieri, and I think this is an interesting project, very interesting project. It's and one author imagining 3 different genres. So we have, it might be House, which is a Western. Then we have uh, Woodhouse, which is a crime novel or a crime story. Brick House is the uh, sci-fi, and Blow is the romance told from Death's perspective. But I think this is so interesting that one author is trying to, he brings his imaginary juices and delves into 4 different genres. And I'm interested to see what one author could come up with, trying to get into 4 different ways of writing and 4 different, very different styles of writing. So yeah, I thought that was very interesting to see, and I'll let you guys know how this goes. I heard about this book from Ariel Bissett. When she went into the library to get a book, this was one of the books she picked up. So I was like, I think I'm going to read this, and I will. Then I went to Barnes & Noble, and I picked up a book, Ready Player One, which has been all over booktubes. I'm not showing you guys anything new, really, but I am excited because of the 80s references in this, and I like the 80s. The author is pictured with a DeLorean. Can't get back. I mean, Back to the Future. Flux capacitor. Yeah. So, Ready Player One. I'm excited to read it. I will probably enjoy this book over the Thanksgiving break. Maybe. So yeah, that's my book haul, and that is my first book to video. Yay! I'm excited. So I'm going to tag some people in this video because I think this is a very interesting thing to look up. What book or books were popular in the year that you were born? Challenge yourself. Pick one, read one. Do you think it would be popular still today? Does it hold its weight? Is it still relevant? Is it not relevant anymore? What might have made it popular then? What makes it kind of now? Look and find out. I think it's a interesting thing to see. So yeah, this is my book, Winter's Tale, and again, the year that it was published is the year I was born. For me to know, you to find out. Let me know if you discover how old I am down below, and I will tag people to do this, and I will tag them somewhere up here. You'll see their names, and anyone else who's interested to do this tag. Have fun with it. Yeah, let me know what you end up reading. Okay? Yay! First video done! Bye!